Direct Game, where you approach a woman and right off the bat, you let her know she looks fantastic and you want to meet her. Versus Indirect Game, where you kind of talk about something else first and then ease into the fact that you're attracted to her. Which of these styles is more effective? Well, this is what we're going to debate in today's video. But before we do, I want to remind you that Game Academy is now live and ready for you to consume. This is your walkthrough guide, taking you by the hand and showing you everything you need to know about learning game. There's tons of free content in there, and we're also running a sale on VIP memberships. Currently, you can buy a pay-as-you-go monthly membership, or you can get a lifetime VIP membership for half price. But both of these options disappear on 9th of June. Check it out, learn more at gameglobal.net/academy. All right, let's go into the video.
So the reason I wanted to do this video is we've got Game Academy coming up on June 2nd, and inside it we've got like over 3.5 hours of day game audio footage with Kieran and I. We're approaching women during the daytime, and in almost all the videos we are approaching directly. So we're stepping up to the woman and we're letting them know why we're there, like pretty much straight away. And it's not, we're not going, it's subtle, so we'll just say, oh, excuse me, I wanted to speak to you because you look fantastic today. And then maybe that's it. We're not peppering them with compliments the whole time, but for sure off the open, we're letting them know why we're there straight away. And the reason why is, one, because so that they know what's up. In a lot of daytime situations, it's not immediately obvious why random man is talking to her.
Yeah.
And also, as far as I see it, it's the most like man to woman way to do it. It's the bravest way to do it. But I do know there are different strategies. So I kind of wanted to just pick your brain and find out how you're doing it in Australia, because you've been running day game a lot longer than me. So I'm always open-minded to hear like different solutions.
Okay, well, I don't always go indirect. It depends on the girl, obviously. It depends on the demographic. Also depends on what city you're in as well. So it can be quite complex. But
So that's interesting, because what do you mean? So what is the differences that makes you decide?
so for instance, if I speak to an Australian woman or even a British woman, same thing in my opinion. Someone who's socially aware, we both speak perfect English, we both understand each other's culture, we're both on the same level when it comes to understanding of social, just so how the socially we're in tune with each other. If I speak to just say an Aussie or even an American girl, she kind of gets it. She's like, okay, well, this is a strange guy coming over. I wouldn't use directions. I wouldn't go over and say, hey, do you know where Starbucks is? Because then that's just confusing her. But it'd be pretty much just, hey, how you going? What are you up to today? Whereabouts you? Like kind of give them the impression that you're interested in them, and they just click straight away. They're like, okay. These are feminist countries too, Britain, America, Australia. These are the most feminist countries on earth. Women straight away, they click. They know what's going on. They know that you're interested just by saying hello. Really, if you're asking for directions or you're bringing up some random ideas like that, or you want to talk about the weather, they literally just think that you want to have a boring conversation, or you're at a bus stop and you ask them when the next bus is coming. They legit think that you want that information. Then you're digging yourself a hole. But generally, hey, how you going? And just boring conversation. They're like, well, hang on. Why is this stranger? He's not asking for anything. What's going on? They click pretty fast. But on the other hand, if you're talking to a girl that's from South America, or she's from Asia somewhere, and she's happened to be walking through London or New York or Sydney, and you go over and you just start up a conversation, she might actually just think that you want to be friends, and that's happened to me many times before. So then you have to go direct. You literally have to be like, well, I'm here for a reason. I want your number for a reason. And really going a bit more direct in that situation saves you time, because if you get a number and you organize a date and you turn up and meet some girl from Korea, as an example, or a girl from Brazil or something like that, and she's like, "But I thought we were friends." I'm like, oh, you really, you thought we were going to be friends? And that's happened before, so you have to be a little bit more like, okay, what type of girl am I talking to? Does she get it? Is she socially aware enough? Then it's like you start throwing in the sexual innuendo just to just put it in her face. It's like, yeah, I'm here for a reason. I'm not your friend. I'm not going to give you business advice. I'm not your English teacher. I'm here for a purpose. You go out on a date with me, you probably end up in my bedroom. Be careful, girl. Be careful. You might end up in my bedroom, right? Then they'll either just, they'll get it. But an Aussie girl or a British or American or a Canadian girl, you don't have that problem because they get it straight away. They're like, why is this strange guy twice my age saying hello? Well, he obviously wants some. He wants to get some.
Got it. I think it's worth mentioning for like the beginners out there. Like the reason they get it is because of what's communicated through like the body language, right, and the eye contact, facial expression, the way you speak to people. So, like if you came over and it's like a shy, like hi, like non-threatening, like oh hi, a great weather today, isn't it, or something like that, then that maybe they won't get it. But if I totally understand what you're saying, if you come up to them in a certain way, I'm gonna feel really awkward doing it to the camera. I know I'm about to start laughing, but like, like, what's up? Yeah, okay. I'm not so good at doing it to the camera, but that's important. That's important, and I totally understand that. But I just thought I wanted to make that obvious for like all the listeners as well.
They get it pretty fast. I dare say. I recently met a girl from California, and just literally at the end of my street, and we started talking and talked about books and just random topics. And then I, after talking for maybe 10, 15, even 20 minutes, I even got a phone call in between. I just, I never told her she was cute. I never told her I was interested. I never hinted at all at it. But she got it. She's from California. Perfect English, American, right? And she, at the end of it, I was like, so it's like 8 p.m. at night. I was like, where are you going for dinner? What's going on? She said, oh, I'm going home. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna watch something or other. And I said to her, well, how about I'll buy some food and I'll bring it around if you cook it for me. That was pretty much it. And she got it straight away. She understood that. Me bringing around some food and her cooking the food at her place, and it was a non-threatening way to go about it. It was you cook it for me at your place. She got it. She understood. Then she goes, well, how about I get your number? Which I thought was that's a red flag in my opinion. That never works. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, here's my number. And then literally half an hour later, she turned up at the same spot and said, let's eat at your place. Came straight back to my place. And so it was literally a 20-minute conversation and straight back to the bedroom. But if it was someone from Asia or South America or the Middle East, I guess, they're a little bit ditzy when it comes to those things. They're just not as aware. And it might just be a cultural thing. It might just be... there's a multitude of reasons why. It could just be a language barrier thing, but yeah, you can sub communicate your interest quite easily with someone that speaks perfect English. Yeah,
that's true.
Yes.
So you never give them a compliment on their appearance.
Well,
at any point.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like almost 40. I'm like a grandpa, and if I the way I see it is I'm most of the girls that I'm approaching, I'm beneath them. Like, so my sexual market value is down here because grandpa's down here, and they're like, you know, early 20s or something like that. 20, 21, something like that. They're up here. They know their value, right? And if I go over and just look up to them and go, oh, I think you're really cute, it's the reaction's often like, yeah, of course, and you can just see their mind ticking over, thinking, okay, well, of course I'm cute because I'm like half your age and I'm better than you and you're a grandpa. So, well, obviously, I'm cute to you.
On first impression,
So
this is.
this is the.
I hope.
This is how they would. That's how they would rationalize it, in my opinion. So then, what I would do is I would. The opposite is, if I was up here, my sexual market value was up here, and she was beneath me. She was arguably, just say I'm 25, I'm jacked, I'm 6'5", I'm driving a Lamborghini, and she's a really overweight 35-year-old woman that's really ugly and lives in a caravan, and I go to her and I say, hey, I think you're really cute. I'm looking down.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're really hot. She's like, no, I'm not hot, all insecure. I'm like, you're really hot. I would love to get to know you a bit more. She's like, oh really? So the way I rationalize this in my mind is I'm always aiming for something better. So I very rarely give in that sexual marketplace value rationale, I'm aiming up. So if I give a compliment, it's kind of just stating the obvious because I'm shooting up. But if I give a compliment, it is usually used because they're a little bit socially unaware, and just to let them know, it's like, hello, that's what I'm here. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not your English teacher. I wanna take you out on a date, and so it's like, I think you're sexy, you know what I mean, something like that, to let them know. But generally, that's why I use indirect. It's because they tend to, when you put yourself beneath them, they tend to, it gives them that ego boost, like, okay, well, I got this guy, I might as well just wait for the next guy to come along, and you've kind of blown it. Your illusion of value decreases, and I don't want to lose my illusion of value. I want to try and keep a higher value than arguably what I have. So that's part of the rationale of indirect, in my opinion, if that makes sense.
It's a great argument, and just to confirm, I would hope you're talking about like their original perception of sexual market value, because I would suggest like a 40-year-old guy, if he's been living his life properly, then he also has high sexual market value in things other than his looks, right? So he's like fucking smart, probably makes a lot of money, he's got like wisdom and all this shit, and good game hopefully. But for sure, yeah, if I definitely understand the argument that if a guy just comes up and is like, you look great, then that's what you're saying. It places her above him, for sure. Sometimes if a girl is like, she's sat on a bench or sat somewhere, then what I can do is I can sit near her, maybe wait 10 seconds, and then like make like an observational opener or something, like or just anything, right? I was just like, it's so fun to people watching Trafalgar Square or something like that, and then you go from there. By the way, my name's Joe. But what if she's kind of like walking, or she's in a group and you're interrupting? Do you think a direct opener is more appropriate there?
Oh, if she's in a group, how many people?
or even if it's only two, but maybe you're interrupting a conversation, or if she's walking somewhere, if you're interrupting her doing like anything, would I would argue then perhaps there's need to explain what you want quicker in that situation. But what do you think?
Well, I guess if there's two girls that are the same age, then usually it will be, okay, well, why don't, we go for a drink later on tonight? What do you guys got planned? I got this on tonight. Bring all of them. But if it's a mum and a daughter, I feel direct would work with the mum and the daughter, because then the mum's like, you can make a bit of a joke of it and just let the mum know, look, I would love some alone time with your daughter, Don't mean to be a sleaze. You make a bit of a joke about it, and go direct.
Got it.
And, that would kind of work. But again, if there's two really hot, sexy models that are just next level sexy, they're not going to think, they're just going to assume that you want to have a chat, because you are just another man to them, because they're models. They're supermodels, right? They just assume most men know better than to go hit on a supermodel, right? So to some extent, you have to go direct with a supermodel, because they're just going to assume you're just the average guy that's like giggling and wants to get to know them. So you literally have to go, even in day game, you have to go direct, and you have to like almost be physical as well, like grab their hand and say, look, I'm taking this one. You can stay there. Okay, I'll take both of you. Like, just very, very direct with models. And but if they're like, just say for instance, they're two girls that are about the same age and they're like early 20s, I dare say going indirect and then just hinting something that the three of you guys can do later on is probably the best way to go. And then kind of showing intent on one of them. Let them both know you like one, and you get her number first, and then before you go, what you do is you get the friend's number before you go as well. So you get both numbers, so you're hedging your bets, and you're building a little bit of jealousy, because women are somewhat emotional and immature sometimes, so you can play that off against each other. But yeah, it depends on the demographics, the ages, and it's complex. It depends on the situation as well. So that's the way I see it, if that makes any sense.
Got it. Last question on this topic, I reckon. And like I'm just going to put it to you. I've got my own opinions.
Yeah.
What do you say to the argument that being indirect is for cowards?
I have heard that argument before, but one thing I would do, if it depends on, just say you have one session in one day, depending on, you have, between each session you build momentum from the beginning, like as soon as you start the day, you're a little bit dry, right? Cold and in your head. Your first few approaches will often be different from your last few approaches in one day. Also, if you're building momentum over a long period of time, your first approach on the first day of the month that you haven't made an approach in a month is going to be different from your first approach at the end of the month after approaching every day for that month. So understanding that first. And one thing that helps is going direct and just burning it. Now, I see it the opposite way. Going over to a super hot girl and saying, hey sexy, how you going? You know she's going to burn. You're just going to burn that. She's going to go, who the fuck are you? I'm like, well, who the fuck are you? I think you're really hot. What are you doing? and you're going to fuck it up. And you deliberately do to get yourself out of your head. So when people start saying, oh, look, it's ballsy to go and be direct, what they're actually telling you is that they have approach anxiety. They're not actually making a judgment on you. They're projecting their internal insecurity about their approach anxiety onto you. So there was a point there where I had a group of guys where we were just going fucking insane, and we're trying stupid stuff like, can you yad stop a group of girls and try to pull? Or can you go into a cafe and there's like a bridal party and just go over to, someone, like, try to break into a party, and can you try to pick up a girl that's with a boyfriend? Can you go over and play Phone of God, where you just walk over to a group of girls sitting inside a cafe, don't say a single thing, just pull out your phone and give it to her, and she's like, what? And all the girls are like, what is this crazy guy doing? And then you motion, put your phone number in, but you don't say anything. Like, we can play those stupid games, and we also can play the idea of, is it ballsy to go direct, or is it ballsy to go indirect? I feel that when you go indirect, well, firstly, let me just cover that first. But when you're talking about direct versus indirect and whether it's ballsy, I feel like anybody can build up enough momentum to get through the whole approach anxiety type feeling. So if people have approach anxiety, we can work our way through that no matter who you are. I feel like most people can work their way through approach anxiety no matter what. We can get some momentum going. The first couple are going to be difficult on the first day, but at the end of, say, a couple days or a week, you're going to be out there approaching anyway. So being ballsy or not is not going to be the factor. The factor is going to be how you go about optimizing your game so you don't burn as many sets as you do, and you return on approach. Each approach is higher, and then you start analyzing it in a more scientific way, if anything. But then also, what I will say to address the ballsy opinion that people have, if you go in and just go, hey, I think you're cute, and you just run this script. Hey, I saw you from over there, I just had to come over here, I just had to come over and let you know that you're cute, I like your dress, remember, okay, fold arms, okay, eye contact, just run through it all. Is that really ballsy, or are you just playing some sort of a game? I think it's more ballsy when you go over to a super hot girl and there's onlookers listening to you, and you're having an indirect conversation just about something in a cafe with a strange girl you just met, and 5 or 10 other people around that are all strangers, they're all listening to this indirect conversation, and you're holding all of that pressure on your shoulders with everybody listening, and you're going indirect, and everyone knows. Everyone's like, this guy's, they don't know each other. I think this guy's trying, and you can just see them. They nudge each other, they look at you. That's ballsy, and it's indirect. And also, when the girl's giving you a little bit of making it a little bit difficult for you, and there's like 10 onlookers looking, going, oh, he's about to burn out. Oh my God, I've never heard this before. You can see the couple at the table right next to you nudging each other and looking at you. That takes a lot more balls than going over to the same girl with the direct approach and within literally 20 seconds going in there and then just going, hey, I think you're cute, blah, 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 blah. She's like, no thanks, I'm not interested. And you run out straight away. It only lasts 20 seconds. But really, you just had the anxiety, you weren't really to hold it. But if you go in there indirect and you hold it and you try to stay in that set for 5 minutes with all these onlookers around, that's why I feel like indirect is far more ballsy. That's just my opinion. I feel like it's more ballsy because you're in there longer, and also there's those silent little gaps in between where you just met someone, you don't know this person, and there's a silent little gap, and instead of filling it up with all of these, canned lines and I like your dress and blah 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 blah, just literally holding your ground like a centered man and just looking at her and doing this, like, yeah, your turn to talk, like not actually saying it, but looking her in the eye and your turn. And she knows everyone's listening as well, and she's like, whoa, this guy's got balls. You're like, well, it's your turn to talk, right? You know, two people hold a conversation. So
Dave,
yeah,
I think you explained that so well.
makes sense. Yeah.
So, yeah, absolutely. But just to summarize what you're saying, and let me know if I've got this wrong. Yeah, it's like it's cowardly to go in and ask for directions, and then you just always asking about directions, and it's not obvious while you're there. But if you're doing what you said before, where it is obvious through like your body language and stuff, like how you would do with like the Americans, Australians, Canadians, whatever, then that is smart. That is smart, and it's not cowardly. Okay, but
Mm.
at the same time, like if you go direct, deliberately over the top to self sabotage yourself, that is also cowardly because
Yeah.
you're failing because you're scared to do it properly, right?
Yeah. Mm.
At the same time, it can be if you run proper game and you don't deliberately go over the top. Like that's another way to do it. That isn't necessarily a coward's way. So to say indirect is this and direct is this is too simple an idea. But I think you explained it really well. The difference between like being a pussy and not, for sure.
Yeah, it's very
And
complex.
also, I want to say before you talk, like, I, I've grown to love that. How you mentioned when other people are listening,
Mm.
uh, for sure. But I don't think people care as much as you give them credit for.
Yeah.
Like everyone, they're like we think we're the most important person in the world. But yeah, I would kind of wish people would listen more.
Mm.
Then I think that they do. But for sure, it is a brave thing to do that, like you said.
Yeah, and with practice too, the guys that want to talk about direct versus indirect, I think it's more the strategy than the guts that it takes to implement this particular strategy. I don't think it's really gutsy or not gutsy. I think it's more um, if you're doing it enough, you you become almost it's almost like skydiving. In the beginning, it's probably scary, but then after a while, you get this adrenaline rush, and you just want to approach every day because of the adrenaline rush. And if you don't get the hit, you miss it. And so
Yeah,
I guess a lot of people who have been approaching for a very long time, they get to the point where they want that adrenaline rush every single day, and they want to be a part of the game. When I hear about people that have gone out day gaming and I've been too busy, I've had something on that day, I really I miss it. I'm like, fuck.
What's up? It's Joe. If you enjoyed this video, you're gonna love Game Academy. Your walkthrough guide, taking you by the hand and showing you everything you need to know about learning game. Check it out at gameglobal.net/academy.